which is really the wellsprings of future economic growth. Why is business in it?
So you gonna eat these too?
Tito!
Oh.
Get out of here. I haven't read what's in the back seat.
They were saying that these people are Italians to design this thing,
No,
maybe.
they were
Somebody else?
Oh, cool. That was a different place in Italy. There were two Italian girls that made it so, like, a street skating park. That's what they made. Like, everything on the street is there. They're actually allowed to skate.
Get your Shinkansen and be jumping out on the sidewalk. Luca, would you like Piper to sleep with you like she used to sleep with Julia?
Yes.
Okay. Because she keeps just going outside all night. She's going to get herself in trouble out there.
What do you mean?
I don't know. Find a
Go for
frog
toad.
or eat a possum. I went pee at 2:30 in the morning and she was out there.
Like, the only reason I slept with my door closed is, like, which I could totally get used to, which I'm fine with, is that, like, Ollie starts bugging me at, like, 6:30, but, like, I can teach him, though.
Well, Piper used to sleep in Julia's room with the door closed.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
And then when Piper would hear you wake up, then she'd be trying to get out of Julia's room, or you would let her out, remember?
Yeah.
Hope it doesn't rain, because we have one little tiny umbrella.
Look, the car that we test drove.
Oh, yeah.
Where?
Oh, yeah. In front of us.
If you
time
miss
it.
the train, then you have more time to wait.
We know we left the house at 9:15.
When's the train?
Every, I don't know, every 10 minutes, every, how many minutes, I don't really know.
Oh, so you told me to buy tickets or did you already?
Nope, we gotta buy tickets. Appears I can buy tickets from this app.
Yeah, then you scan the thing on the thing.
It's another app. Gotta create a whole account. I'll do that.
The only bad thing about the Face ID is if you accidentally tap buy on something that's like $20.
Oh.
No, you have to do double, so it's more secure.
Yeah,
Look, they're building something.
Wow. More restaurants. The Falls is building a whole crap load of more restaurants too.
I prefer indoor malls than outdoor malls.
I put a bag of Lay's and a water bottle in your front pocket. The water's jiggling around.
It feels like my stomach after I drink one cup of water. Did you put the pencil holder and the notebook in there?
Yep. Where's the stop down there? There is one. This is the final one.
No, that's that.
Oh, this drop off and pick up there too.
Yeah, isn't that the one we're going to?
Yeah, but we're gonna get off over here. You got everything ready? 'Cause we gotta hop off.
There's nobody behind us.
Please fasten passenger seatbelt.
Tell me what to do.
You have to pay for 2 tickets or is there a random one?
I
You
don't
can
know.
go under the thing.
Wait, what?
You can go under the thing.
Oh.
Uh,
See up there. At the stop sign.
this is
Yes.
the entrance? This must.
Ready, Freddie?
Enjoy!
Bye, love you.
Mwah. Love
Get
you.
your poster board.
Ow. The door's automatically locked.
Federal gun control legislation. That depends on whether it's a fair and reasonable regulation or an infringement on my right to own and bear it. I don't need 20 bullets to hit an elk, but I may still need the loaded gun to protect me against the intruder in my home.
This is Jill from Austin, and I am a Texan gun owner, and I absolutely support federal gun control legislation as long as it doesn't screw over people of color and folks with mental illness.
This is Kevin from Sacramento. The problem with the gun control proposals that are put up is that they only affect law-abiding citizens who are not the people we need to worry about. Most of these mass shooters have either never done anything wrong or have gotten around the system very easily. Red flag laws have already led to multiple situations where the police raid and murder people with zero due process. Gun-free zones have an average of 14 casualties per shooting, while shootings that happen outside of gun-free zones average about 3 or 4. So they're completely counterproductive.
It's the takeaway. We'd love to hear from you. Give us a call at 8778-MIGHT-TAKE and tell us, are you a gun owner? And if so, do you want to see federal gun legislation? We're back now with Alex Yablon, a reporter at The Trace, and Richard Feldman, a former NRA regional political director and author of Ricochet, a book about the NRA. Richard, I want to go back to Walmart for a second, because after they made their announcement that they would stop selling ammunition, the NRA issued a statement saying, and I'm quoting here, "It's shameful to see Walmart succumb to the pressure of the anti-gun elites." Richard, your experience with the NRA, what does that tell you? I mean, how effective is a statement like that? Are we supposed to be surprised by this?
Well, I think that was something probably the NRA felt it had to say. You know, the proof's always in the pudding. If sales of Walmart go down because guys go in there and let the family loose, go look at clothes and return to school, and I'm going to go look at the hunting counter, don't go there, it affects their sales. But you know what? That's a decision of a private company, and private companies are free to make their own decisions as they see fit in this country. There are plenty of companies that only sell firearms and ammunition and related products. They're probably excited as heck that they don't have a big competitor like Walmart anymore.
Well, we also saw, to that point, you made the point in the first segment about Woolworth selling ammunition, but we saw Dick's Sporting Goods pull back from selling guns at one point, and they seem to be doing pretty well. So do you see any issues there?
Well, they had a pretty rocky year and a half there with their stock after they did that. I know lots of people that will go out of their way not to go to Dick's. Now, Walmart may be in a class by itself. There may not be any other places to go, certainly in rural parts of the country, to get local supplies other than Walmart.
Alex, I want to go back to one of the things we heard at the top, very, very top here, when the president often talks about background checks, bring up the issue of mental illness, and this is a talking point we've heard a lot, particularly coming out of the GOP. There have been a lot of, back and forth on what this is and how politicized the issue of mental illness has become. Where do you see it falling into the broader conversation about gun control today?
So I think it's the relationship between mental illness and gun violence is not done justice by the political discourse. For one thing, there's not really any evidence that people with mental illnesses, even severe ones, are a danger to other people. They're more likely to be victimized themselves by violence or to hurt themselves. The real issue are people who have a history of violent behavior or who make threats. And we end up focusing on mental illness because it's a sort of, it seems colloquially crazy that someone would do something like this. But again, you go back and look at these case histories, it's very hard, to say in a lot of these mass shootings, like, did this person actually receive a clear diagnosis? And then, not only that, like, to actually be prohibited from buying a gun because of, mental distress or mental illness, a judge has to formally require a person to go to psychiatric care, which is a very, very high bar. The country has done that a lot less since it created the laws around guns and mental illness in the 1960s.
Richard, I want to talk a little bit about how this ethos, and we kind of touched on this earlier, but how has the NRA's ethos become so ingrained in the Republican Party? And what I mean by that is the conversation around guns has become one of, it's either all the guns or no guns. And I think that's a real false equivalency here. I think that folks are calling for what types of guns can be sold and whether or not certain guns can be sold to certain kinds of folks. But why has this become such a big part of the Republican Party? And is it really about the money?
Well, it's become a part of both parties because when it comes to politics, it's always easier if you can paint with a big brush and you're either with us or you're against us. There's no middle ground. There's nothing nuanced about it. And of course, the truth is that everything in life is becoming more and more nuanced, more and more complicated. There are no easy answers. So rather than